educational show in the late 60s. While working at Ray Nelson's Puppet Place in Chicago. In the early 70s, he joined Bobby Clark's touring company show Pinocchio, which performed in such prestigious venues as the Huntington Harbor Theater in Hollywood, as it traveled across the country. In the mid-70s, he performed Wizard of Oz for the National Marionette Company in Chicago, and upon returning, he worked again at Ray Nelson's Puppet Place, doing both touring and in-house shows through the late 70s. Moving to Inglewood, California with his mother in 1980, he took a job at the Animal Lovers Pet Shop in Torrance, where he sold and groomed exotic birds. Returning to puppetry full-time, he spent several years in San Francisco, where he built and performed puppets from the late 80s to the early 90s, frequently the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. Upon his return to Inglewood, he got a job at the Bob Baker Marionette Theater, not just one day, and worked there doing children's birthday parties and other performances. He was a member of the Chicagoland Puppetry Guild, Los Angeles Guild of Puppetry, Puppeteers of America, which he worked at the puppet store run by the National Festival for many years. An avid collector of puppets all his life, his philanthropic efforts included donations to the Vera Finley ventriloquist dummies and the dummies of Ruby Wilson and Pete King of the puppet stage. The King Triton puppet and a Little Mermaid puppet in his collection of the Portland Puppet Museum, enhancing their current collection as well as many other donations to numerous museums. He also sent many books on 3D filming and made dozens of connections to experts and organizations developing 3D filming technology to the puppet company in Chicago because he was an ardent supporter of development of 3D puppet filming technology. With a heart of gold, he was a devoted friend to renowned puppet collector Alan Cook and helped
It's 7:30.
Museum in Pasadena as a board member on their board of directors, where he curated and restored their puppet collections. Steve lived with Alan in Alan's home in Pasadena, assisting Alan with every aspect of his life, and in Alan's final years of finding health at the end of his life, Steve was there to help him in every way possible, never asking compensation for his. Steve had a great love of animals, especially exotic birds, of which he owned several, that spent his entire life eventually leading into a career as an exotic bird salesman for birds only in West Hollywood for many years. He was also an active member of the West Hollywood Bird Club, with many great friends there, and one of their team that did the natural product show for years. After leaving his job at the bird store, he moved north to North Hollywood in late 2020, and I assisted him in relocating what he had at that. Steve suffered from chronic lymphocytic leukemia for many years, but had brought it into remission in 2021. Shortly after that, he was diagnosed with a disease called amyloidosis, which resulted in rapid decline in his physical strength and balance. Because the disease is a collection of amyloid proteins in certain organs of the body, like the liver, kidneys, heart, and the brain. After many months of suffering, Stephen passed away peacefully at Valley Presbyterian Hospital in Van Nuys, California on Wednesday, July 6, 2020. He was 77. Steve's sharp wit, vast knowledge, loving nature, outgoing personality, and fabulous demeanor will sorely be missed by all those who may he be forever in our hearts and our memories. So these are some things that people sent me in because they couldn't be here to introduce you. Tony Urbano said Steve was devoted to puppets and puppetry. Along Alan's book, they were endlessly interested in puppet history and collecting items across all aspects of the art form. I respected Steve's interest and dedication to the and legacies of our craft. We also shared our love of opera, and I was often received reviews in my email box of operas that Steve had seen recently. He wrote me this. I'm going to try to get through this next one without breaking up. This is from Eliza Hollingshead. That years ago, when we were performing with the Old World Puppet Theater in the Bay Area, we did a show for an event for Stanford Children's Hospital outpatient program. It was a Christmas fun day at a local restaurant in Palo Alto. Great day, lots of kids, games, food, and fun. And we were walking around with the puppets until showtime. Well, showtime came. We were at the end of the day, and all we could think about was all these kids were filled with sugar, and one of them would be bouncing off the walls the entire time. However, the show was Who's That Ranger, one of the premier Stephen Mark Overton productions, and the kids were enthralled from the very first moment. So after it was over, we started packing up the props and bagging up the puppets. One little boy worked backstage, and he was just fascinated with the skill by all colors and everything. I just remember Steve being so gentle and kind with this little boy, carefully moving him away from the stage being taken down. His mom was standing off to one side in tears. And I went over her to see if she was okay. Her son was severely autistic and nonverbal. And you should have the attention span of about 5 minutes. They sat through the entire 45-minute show without making a sound or moving a muscle. Steve heard that and motioned to me, and we proceeded to unpack my bag and stop taking out everything. So that boy would touch and look to his heart's content. Steve talking to him, doing the whole time. We were there an entire extra hour, but no one from the restaurant interrupted. They were all watching from a little ways away. That's the good soul that was Steve Goldman. I treasure that memory always. Sorry, it's very hard. This next one is from Pat Julian. I met Steve many years ago with the West LA Bird Club. He had many birds in those days, and they also did grooming. A fire happened, and he lost most of his beloved birds. But he went on working with birds, and in several bird shops over the years. He was also one of our gang and went yearly to the National Product Show with us. Stephen was the funniest and most delightful person to be with. He found treasures of samples that none of us could get or would even imagine the creative uses he had in mind for. Everyone loved him. I have a parrot now that he gave my late sister, a rose-breasted cockatoo that I will always treasure. My sister renamed her after the late owner's niece, Paris Hilton. I've been to a puppet show with Steve downtown under a freeway one night, whether we're that a fun night we remember. He was a dear friend, always there for someone. Rest in peace, Steve. Your fun and wonderful charm. And personality is so. Bill Morrison writes, my puppetry student from CSUN came to the International Puppetry Museum in Pasadena to see the Allen collection. Steve came to the door dressed all in black and said, welcome to the den of the dickens. Steve Allen always gave students such great joy. The last one is from Nancy Staub. Steve and I share love of puppets and opera. He always emailed me links to new discoveries. We would then talk about production. He was a warm and generous person with a great sense of humor. And this character. I don't care. Now we'd like to hear from Jack Marks.
Hold as much steady on my feet. Thank you, Sid Fish, and she's all for holding this occasion and for the Bob. I think you organized it really well. Steve Colbert was a very unique character, as you all know. He was kind, funny, thoughtful, loved animals, puppets, artifacts, food, especially food. Anything pre-game, especially making deals. He was very smart and knew a great deal about these subjects, very interesting to talk. He was obsessed with 3D photography, pursued his hobby others. Steve was a great friend of Alan's books. He became Alan's caregiver in his last years, kept in much better shape than Alan would have been on his own. Took him to shows, restaurants, got him to take his pill. He was very good at organizing, great help right in with his fighting system for the public. He also found good deals for custom blocks and other things flying. He gave guests like him insightful tours of the public. For the last few years, he realized that he had serious medical problems. How he fought the good fight, he finally lost him. He was a fun guy, good friend, and I won't miss him.
Next up, Alex Evans and Bob Baker Theater staff who generously donated this.
First of all, Julius dropped a lot of again, comments, if you were getting on the stage, a bunch of kids, and Matt Blasco in this open reflecting Steve gives, right? Hello. When I first came to the Bob Baker Marionette Theater, I had no experience, familiarity with puppetry, no knowledge of Los Angeles, not to mention that I had little idea of the rich, beautiful history of LA, Louisiana. Myself, as a young kid, at the time, many didn't hesitate to verbalize. I was surrounded by giants, people who would walk around, various layers of experience, covered in a grit of expertise, a history and knowledge that had come through, and these figures clenching their teeth, reflecting on crazy and frustrated times, possible projects, but at the same time, there would always be a sparkle, people's eyes, clear, light, joy, and projects. And in this context, when Steve was at constant Alan, Stephen Allen, who will theater or live show, constantly Steve posted, but I always remember for his crazy haircuts, his dad, director, talking, and overall presentation of wisdom, and not necessarily Merlin-esque wisdom, but wise in a way that this person surely lived for 1,000 years. Steve was honest, direct, clear, not for his time. In fact, my strongest memory of Steve is after watching some Bob Baker shows some years ago, not so quietly saying, "Fix those fucking puppets," forgive my language, I'm sorry. But really, Steve cared about the puppets, cared about the theater. He cared about it so much that he came through with directness and honesty. It's something that personally always appreciated. Always not just honest, but true and caring things he was talking about. Over the years, as Bob passed, as the theater transitioned, as we fixed the puppets, Steve's honesty and appreciation, like, always felt genuine. It really meant a lot to me, Steve, Harry, and Bob Baker, what you see all around you now, just having honesty that Steve was so much to me. As a kid myself growing up around because like Steve putting respect from this visible figure and well, we talk a lot around here. Bob Baker is just me from the side of the building, but really means just countless people given legacy of imagination, celebration, and movement today, and Steve led different world, the puppets around me, in my heart. I love you, Steve.
Anyone else want to start?
I think that's for the time being, but maybe during the open remarks.
That's fine. Come back. Okay, the next up list is the town. You'd be here, that you would not miss this for any. Here's okay. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
It's 7:45.
I can sit there, I'm going to be down
Oh, there you go.
here. Big goal. What can I say now? Me, Steve Golden, one of the most warm, caring, and generous individuals I have known to Buster. All the great things that other than Steve, we would not have had Alan Cook with us for as long as we did. 2 years older than me, Alan was, of all those I have known, come to cherish my years. My first closest. Steve, for many years, looked after Alan, helped him with his vision and design collection of jackets. It's his way to a permanent home at the Northwest Park. Yeah. We all know what a monumental effort it took to get that fully done. Right, Jack? Alan was Alan. Not an easy person to live with, as many of you will. Steve's role in keeping Alan on track was a significant one, especially with regard to the public. Once the collection was moved, Steve became a permanent fixture in Alan's house. And he was the person who tried to keep whatever order was being had. That also meant keeping all of us apprised of what Alan was up to, especially with the health problem he left after this big prostate cancer. It was Steve who let me know, with my nephews Matt and Taylor, to say that Alan was perfected and needed all of us, and keeping all of us apprised of Alan, especially no problem. It was Steve who let me and my nephews, Ned, Matt, and Damon, know about Alan, and that he was ill and needed to be reinstated to the VA. He had elected. Well, we got him the help he needed, took him to the VA, we got him updated on everything. That extended Alan's life for a great more than a year. It was Steve who led me in my neck. When Alan began to declare a decline later on, it's Steve who gave us the call to Steve Gaiman. They the opportunity to visit Beacon Company for several days before he passed. For that, we were greatly indebted. On that occasion, we became aware of the fact the executives of the estate were going to fix Steve so they could sell the house to this object, irrespective of the fact that Steve had a legal right to the law to stay in the home until he is done. However, California law states unequivocally this cannot be done without cataloging everything that is in the house for balance of Steve. This was supposedly disregarded. Steve was evicted, affected the fact that Steve was himself diagnosed with terminal illness. I'm telling you this not with any sense of concern, as it's our experiences in life that create our character. The choices we make tend to define us. Tell us who we are. Steve's choice was to go gently. Not very Fortunately, Jackie Marks, another of Alan Cook's long-standing friends, was there to find him a place to stay where he could quietly last out. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Well, it looks like you, a few others of our generation, are now living treasures of our brother and sisterhood of puppeteers. Bob is who has met. That so much of our work is ephemeral. Memories are the only personal means of passing on to others what has been part of our life experience. COVID-19 for the last 3 years has done its best to isolate us from the social network to sustain us. Now, I don't see this changing. One only has to look at the daily negatives of so much of our life. Growing old means that we begin to lose our friends. A long standing. My coming here today is not only to remember and honor Steve, to be among friends. I don't get to see thought that I did at the church. Rest in peace. I hope you can be reunited now. Whatever place you may find yourselves in. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I'll get it right. Next up, we have Ruth.
Harry Potter. I spent a lot of time with the this part in and it's like that I ended up that thought but it was just so much fun, you know. We had a lot of ways talking about things, you know, things that I didn't know about, you know, big teachers, things that I would, you know, I would always go into their house. I would be Steve.
Anybody else who here might not say,
I have nothing prepared.
that's fine.
Sit on that.
Oh, yeah, I read the text.
I just
I'm sorry. Okay, fine.
didn't steal it all. Okay. I know Steve basically from years ago to the West Valley Bird Club. And I think you're still doing the same, right?
Yeah.
Good, because we have at least one person, Phyllis, that doesn't drive at night, but hopefully is watching this from Zoom, was also a really, really dear friend of Steve. He did a lot of bird grooming, and I mean, we probably go back 25, 30 years. All the friends, I know you and I had kind of conversed about it, that I would have loved to invite him, or that would have loved to have been here also. Most of the people that Steve knew were the bird. I do have one of his birds that he gave my sister, which really enjoy. And as far as anything fun, we would do the natural product show. And Steve had to be the person on the show. Steve was the funniest, the most character found, the greatest, and was found the greatest, and found the greatest ever. I mean, I saw him, I think, about 2 weeks before he passed on. I took a picture of the two of us. I brought it. If anyone wants to see it, it's not the greatest. I just realized it. But he was just really special. Yes, that's the most of it.
Anyone else? Okay, so we have some people who are supposed to be joining us by Zoom. I don't know if they're here or not. I'm not sure. We're pretty quiet. There I am. I'm not sure. I'm here, so I don't know. There should be Terry Harden Jackson. If Terry's here.
I'm here via Zoom.
Make this work. Trying to do this earlier.
I'm here via Zoom, 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 Zoom. I don't know if you can hear me. But maybe I'll just start talking and hope that you can hear me, right? And then you're on a recording, right? So, oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Steve. Hi. He loved birds. Stephen Golden loved birds. And so he liked me better, right? Yes, I'm afraid he did. He liked you much better than me, didn't he? Uh-huh. Yep. He was my best friend. Okay, great. And what did Stephen do for you? He always kept telling me about some really good, wonderful things that were happening in his life. Even when he wasn't feeling well, he always shared something wonderful and fabulous with me. Always, always. He never made me know, like, I didn't even know he wasn't feeling well. I know that was him, wasn't it? Stephen never shared his sadness, but always his happiness, didn't he? Yes, that's right. Always his happiness. And I think that when we're sad, are you sad? Yeah, I'm going to miss him. Yes, me too. And I think the reason we're sad is because we aren't going to get to see him again. And when angels have to be called back to heaven, we have to realize that that's what they have to be, right? But they're always looking all over us, aren't they? Yes, that's true. That's true. He got his wings, right? Did you hear a bell? I did hear a bell. I did hear a bell. So yes, Stephen got his wings. And although we're very, very sad, we're very, very happy that Stephen is no longer suffering, and that he's in heaven where he belongs, and he's teaching everyone about puppets, isn't he? Yes, all about puppets. And so my message to everyone out there is, I knew Stephen for a little bit of time, off and on, because of Alan. and he brought me a book that his mother had written about Alan. And then we became very, very close friends, didn't we? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And he was joyful and kind and sweet, and never, ever, ever really spoke about how he was struggling. So I hope that all of you, like myself, who are sad, will remember that he's with us in spirit and heart, and his love for birds and for everything special and beautiful still, as we remember, his memory will still blossom every single year. I'm so honored to be here. Aren't you, Steve? Yep, I'm very happy to be here too. And I love you, Stephen, and I love everyone out there. And thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Hi, I guess I'm being called upon to speak, so I hope I can be heard. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about what it was like to be a young person with Steve. I first encountered Stephen at puppet festivals when I was in my late teens, early 20s. And Steve used to come with the gang from the Puppet Place in Chicago. And let me tell you, before the word fierce was used in gay parlance, back then, those guys were fierce. About 10 years older than myself and my other puppet friends at the time, they were unafraid, unapologetic, kind of 60s hippie, gay liberationists in the puppet world, and they didn't care who knew what. And all I knew is that they were awfully exciting people and you wanted to be around them. So passed a couple of years, and I was working in a puppet theater in the Wisconsin Dells in a place called Storybook Gardens. And I was working for a puppet company based out of Chicago that shall be nameless for several different reasons. But the Chicagoland Puppetry Guild came to visit at Storybook Gardens. And one of the hallmarks of the Puppet Place people that were in the guild is at that time, they all dressed in caftans, of all things. That was the big thing then. And by gosh, to conservative little Storybook Gardens in the Wisconsin Dells, here comes the Puppet Place guys and Steve Golden and all the Chicago puppeteers and all the Puppet Place guys and Steve, of course, were all dressed in caftans. And I'm here to tell you that Storybook Gardens didn't know what hit them that day. But boy, they had an awakening, and it was a wonderful thing to see. Steve was kind of like anti-MAME in many ways. He believed life was a banquet and most poor SOBs were starving to death. So grab everything you can while you can, and don't be so damn afraid to say, I'm going to have a piece of this. And even towards the end, when the pandemic started, Steve would call me and I would be stuck in my workshop alone, and we would talk for hours. Well, Steve would talk for hours and I'd say yes. And, oh, that's good to know. And he would tell me the most wonderful stories. And I think he really he helped me keep my sanity. And I will be forever grateful to him for that. We shared wonderful times together, both as young men and older men. And I will always be grateful to Steve for his friendship. So Steve, wherever you are, thank you for being my friend. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rick Wilson, and I was the president of Los Angeles. Strangest and wildest Halloween parties that I've been to. You can imagine puppets in the bring with all these strange people in costumes. It made an impression upon me. And then I got to work with Alan and Steve many times. He was always there that had set up the festivals that we had. They puppetry festivals, the installation banquets and events that we had. So through all those years, I was on the board for about 8 years and served as vice president. For all that time, he was always there as a fixture. He was always there helping. And I know anytime we go to IPM, which was a lot of events for us, he was always there to help set up and break down. I certainly appreciated the time to have been with him and assistant. And he was such a knowledgeable person, too. You could ask a question, he would know the background and the history. So I learned. Of course, he always had a way of coming up with notes and criticism. So he went very fast. Come up and I'm like, okay, Steve, thank you. Anyway, I appreciate the time and knowing you. I'm going to miss it. Thank you.
Anything else, Madam Chair, in the audience? All right, so I'd just like to say how I, before announced last, I'd like to say how I got involved with Steve last time. I met Steve years ago, probably 10 years ago. And we've been through a lot of things together. He's a great guy. I love talking to him, being with him. Was hypercritical and always had something to do about it. Which is great, you know, actually, because we all need to get some adjustments on change things. But my most recent encounter in time when he was being called is when he had his last fall in the kitchen. He'd already called the paramedics. He said, you know those papers we were supposed to sign for the power of attorney for healthcare? Well, we never signed them. Now I need you to sign them. So I rushed to the side. I got in through this emergency room visit and not being able to release him walk and being released to the hospital, followed there, first nursing home, which was hellhole, called Four Seasons in Valley Village. Don't ever have relatives there. Got him out of there, got him moved to a better nursing home, got him through that. He, care of his wishes, brought things to him, visited him frequently, and he did catch pneumonia a couple of months first time. Then they thought they had that cleaned up, they sent him back to the nursing home. It was less than a month that they had him back in the hospital. Blood pressure up high enough, like 60 over 40, and because his heart was beating properly. Had him there nice for a long time, moved him up to a floor because they thought he was getting better, and had to take him back to ICU. They called me at 3 in the morning and said, I came in, he was making a lot of cheese and air blowing in his face and wound up in his eyes. I remember now that I heard later that he had thought Steve Overton my best friend several days before, and he said to him, just want to become a puppet. And so that's why he called me in there, was to be the person to make the hard choice. And with this thing on the machines, put on a monkey trip, and let what he asked to do. So now I'd like to call Steve Dahl to wrap this all up. One of the last speakers up here.
You know, we have some very we have some very talented people here in the audience, and I've known a lot of you for a long time. Started with the LA Puppet Field at the age of 12. And Steve and I started on a journey. Of course, I've never been considered to be a real puppeteer. I'm just what you call a marketeer, because I've never built puppets in my life. But I've always used puppetry as a form of entertainment and making money with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Steve and I started on the journey. I was with Alan and Steve Overton. We were at a memorial for Frank Harris. We were on the Heavenly Express book. And I started to get up to make a speech. I started to get very dizzy. And I couldn't go through with it. And I sat down, this arm came around me, and he said, "It's okay, baby. I'm going to take care of it. You're going to be all right." And that was Steve Gold. And from that time on, I just knew he was a very, very special person. He had great talents. He had great taste. He knew things about food. He would call me on the phone and say, "Listen, you and Sid, I know you review theater, you have a call, but you've got to go see the show. It's the greatest show." This man had so many wonderful talents and so many wonderful art things that he knew about. He was a very special person. Alan Cook was a great person, but Steve was the success behind Alan's success. Don't let anybody fool you. Steve was a brilliant man, and he really helped Alan do everything with Focus Our. So let's remember Steve Golden as a very special person, with that star in his eye, and always remember that he is with heaven and he will bless him.
Now we have a farewell video montage back here.